everybody, Driller here. How's it going? This is going to be kind of a little bit of a different video. I thought I'd show off my 1962 Topps Mars Attacks set. Incredible how I got these. It's a quick little story I'll tell you. This will be the first time I've actually opened this case since I put them in here in, I'd say, 1993, I would guess on that. So it's been about 30 years since I had them in here. Real briefly, before I put them in holders, individual holders, I just wanted to kind of go through them and kind of show them off, and thought it'd be kind of cool. As we're slowly going into vintage toys, vintage comics, I thought what better way to start it than to show off my 62 Mars Attacks set. So without further ado, let's get into it. So basically, it's a 55 card set. It was put out in 1962 by Topps, of course. And the reason why these are harder to find is because the PTA got involved, and which is the Parent Teacher Association of America, and they decided that these cards were too violent for kids to have and to collect and have in their possession. So they ended up taking a lot of the cards packs off the shelves and destroying them. So I was fortunate enough to get these. My brother and I, when we were younger, were pretty heavy into collecting, and what we ended up doing was calling our grandparents, and we're asking them, hey, do you have any cards that you didn't throw away of our dad's? We'd like to see what they have, you know, put them in protective holders and see what we could do with them. And they ended up having, we went to their house about a week later, and they had, they gave me a little box that had everything but baseball cards in it. And some of the cards in there were these Mars Attacks cards, as well as some Outer Limits cards and other sci-fi cards. Well, we weren't interested in any of these. So what ended up happening was I put them in a box and put them in my basement and said, you know, forget it. I'll just forget about them. Well, fast forward a couple of years, and I was reading a comic book price guide that I had moved into comics after cards as I got a little older, and they were talking about this new movie that was coming up that was based on this card set. It was called Mars Attacks. So me and my infinite wisdom was like, you know what, I remember seeing these. Maybe those are down there. And lo and behold, I ended up pulling the whole set out and some doubles, and I put them in this case with a little bit of tape. As you can see, there's some tape residue still on here. And I put them away forever. And fast forward to a couple years later, and my mom was moving to assisted living because her health wasn't going that well. About 2 or 3 years before she died. And I was able to dig these out, and as well as a bunch of my vintage toys and comics and things like that. Some really cool stuff here, and this is how I've still got them to this day. Destroying the Bridge, and the art on these is really awesome. I really dig it. Old school style paintings. Sorry about the birds, guys. They're being extra annoying today. Let's see if I can buffer them out. Terror in Times Square. The Human Torch. That's one that they considered really violent. The Skyscraper Tumbles. It's a 55 card set, so I'm going to try and rip through these as fast as I can here. Destroy the City. Death in the Cockpit. Well, that's pretty freaky for a little kid, I guess. I don't know. Watching from Mars. That's kind of cool. And they ended up coming out with that movie in the mid-90s, and it ended up being pretty much like a comedy. I don't know. I didn't see the whole thing, but I think these are cool. Panic in Parliament. This is a classic one. Beast and the Beauty. A soldier fights back. Burning flesh. Oh my goodness. You know, considering they allowed Looney Tunes and the Roadrunner and Coyote to do all that violent stuff to each other, and Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, I'm shocked, man. I don't know. This is a classic one, too. This one is way off center. I'll probably have to find a replacement for that down the road, but my goal is to eventually get them all graded, and I don't know if I'm going to get rid of them or not. I might hold on to them. Not sure yet. The Frost Ray. Scary. The Shrinking Ray. Oh my gosh. Capturing a Martian. That's cool. See, the whole set tells the story. The Tidal Wave. The Giant Flies. Ugh, this would give you nightmares. The Helpless Victim. Death in the Shelter. Trapped. The Monster Reaches In. Pretty wild. This one's a little off center. Robot Terror. But the condition these are in is fantastic, considering I got them about 25 years after they were collected. Terror in the Railroad. Looks like the danger was not so much the Martians, but the enlarged insects. This one was extra. This is one of the reasons they got rid of them. They took them off the shelves. They felt this was ultra violent. Let's look at all the detail on that. And the little kid screaming, "No, not Lassie, no." Then we've got the Creeping Menace. Again, another enlarged insect. And Victims of the Bug. Army of Giant Insects. Like I said, I think the threat was the enlarged insects, not the actual Martians. Again, High Voltage Execution. That's kind of cool. Fry 'em. Horror in Paris. Oh boy. Yeah, we don't want the Eiffel Tower getting that. That's pretty messed up. Yeah, I hear you guys. Chill out. A Hairy Fiend. Blasting the Bug. Battle in the Air. Fighting Giant Insects. Yeah, they're going to need more than a bazooka for those guys. Blast Off for Mars. Looks like we're going to Mars to blow them up. Yep, Earth Bombs Mars. Number 48, Earthmen Land on Mars. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're bringing it. The Earthmen Charge. Looks like they're going after this thing, which looks like a dollar sign. Symbolism much? I don't know. Smashing the Enemy. You hit him with the butt of his gun. Interesting. I'm gonna flip that one over. Okay. Crushing the Martians with our tanks. Yeah. A giant robot, which I think is kind of cool. Look at the centering on that. It's pretty good. A Martian City in Ruins. And then the last two. That Mars Explodes. We blew up Mars. And the very last one is the checklist. And it's really hard to find these. I haven't really looked, but I've read that it's hard to find these unmarked. Unfortunately, This one's marked, but it's still part of it completes my set, and I'm just gonna sit on it, and maybe I'll find an unchecked one down the road, but they're not too cheap. So very cool set, I think. Let me know what you think, guys. I'm gonna actually put these in better holders and say goodbye to the stained snap case. Let me know what you guys think. Pretty cool cards, I think. And that is a very cool first card, I think. Very cool. All right, well, that does it for this one, guys. In the meantime, I'm Driller. Keep collecting and keep grinding. Peace.
Viva Basalt!